Well, hello everyone. My name is Dara Rath. I'm the pastor at Faith Lutheran Church in Port Elgin, Ontario, Canada. And each week I bring you stories that take 5 minutes to watch. And some of them are funny and some of them are just interesting. This is a story that I just found in my pile of stories about Lake Huron. So here we go. It's called the Driftwood Bench. The storm had raged along the shores of Lake Huron with a kind of force that made even longtime residents pause. Windows rattled, hydro lines hummed, and the wind carried the unmistakable scent of churned up sand and cedar. By dawn, the shoreline of Lake Huron looked like it had been rearranged by a giant hand. Stones shifted, dune grass flattened, and driftwood scattered in strange new patterns. That was when 8-year-old Maya spotted it. A massive arc of driftwood lay half buried in the sand, bleached silver and shaped like a crescent moon. To anyone else, it might have looked like storm debris, but Maya, who walked the beach every morning with her grandfather, saw possibility. She sprang toward it, waving both arms to get his attention. Her grandfather, Eli, followed at his own pace, leaning on his walking stick as he had for years earlier. He lived along this stretch of Lake Huron his entire life, long enough to remember when the winters were harsher and the shoreline stretched farther out. But he still greeted each morning with the same ritual: a walk, a story, and a lesson about the lake. When he reached the driftwood, he ran his hand along its smooth curve. "This one's special," he said. "Storms just don't take. They give too." Maya announced that they should turn it into a bench. "Not someday, now." Eli chuckled, but she was already imagining where it would sit, how it would face the sunset, and who must use it. She pictured people tying ribbons to it for luck, or carving their initials into it, or simply sitting quietly while the lake breathed beside him. They spent the next week working on. Maya gathered stones to prop it up. Eli brought tools from his shed. Neighbors stopped to watch, offering advice or simply smiling at the sight of the pair of them working side by side. The lake provided its usual soundtrack: soft waves, gull cries, the occasional splash of a fish leaping for insects. By the weekend, the bench stood proudly facing the horizon. Maya tied a strip of blue fabric around one end, "so people know it's friendly," she said. Eli carved a small inscription on the underside that said, "For anyone who needs a place to rest." The first person to use it wasn't a tourist or a neighbor. It was a young man walking alone, shoulders hunched, eyes red. He sat quietly for a long time. When he finally stood, he turned and he looked at Maya and Eli and nodded, offering a small, grateful smile. "Thank you," he said. "I didn't know I needed this." After he left, Maya asked her grandfather what he meant. "Sometimes," Eli said, "a place to sit is really a place to breathe." The bench became a small landmark. People left shells on it or notes tucked under the stones. Someone draped a knitted scarf over the backrest during the first cold snap. A wedding photographer used it for portraits. A retired teacher read her book there every morning. And every time Maya saw someone sitting on it, she felt a warm flutter in her chest, like she'd helped the lake give something back. Isn't this a wonderful story? I'll continue. By late November, the winds off Lake Huron had sharpened, carrying the first hints of snow. The driftwood bench, Maya and Eli's bench, stood firm despite the shifting sands and rising waves. Locals had begun calling it the crescent seat, though Maya still thought it simply as hers and Grandpa's. One morning, Maya noticed something new: a small stack of folded paper tucked beneath a stone on the bench. She brushed off the frost and opened the top page. The handwriting was shaky but careful. "Thank you for this place. I come here when the world feels too bad." She read it twice and then a third time. Someone needed the bench. Someone depended on it, and she felt a warm swell in her chest as the cold nipped at her fingers. Eli arrived a moment later, his breath visible in the crisp air. "Find something?" he asked. Maya handed him the note. He read it slowly and then nodded. "The lake listens," he said. "Sometimes people just need a place where they can hear themselves again." What a wonderful story. We know that there are all kinds of benches all along Saugeen Shores, and into Sauble Beach and down to Kincardine and Goderich, all along the lake, where people can sit. Some of them have been donated by people, and there's a little plaque on there with their name. But my husband and I go down to the Flag in Southampton, and we sit there and we read a book, and my husband does Sudoku. It's so relaxing and so wonderful, and we so appreciate this lake. We love this lake. That's why we moved back here. So, thanks for taking 5, and blessings on your day.